Hello everybody, and welcome back for the new VR news. As always, I am Mateo311, and this is your one channel for everything VR related. Now this is easily going to be the most exciting week for VR, because Half-Life Alyx is launching 1 hour after I launch this video. I will be live streaming it, so I hope you join me. I know there's going to be a ton of competition out there, and you most likely don't want the storyline spoiled, but if you do show up, I do appreciate it. And if you end up liking this video, I also appreciate a thumbs up. Today's news stories are almost as exciting as Half-Life Alyx, so let's get into it. So first up, in the VR game news, we're just going to spend 30 more seconds on Half-Life Alyx before moving into new games. This title is set up to be a VR game changer, and currently all eyes are on Valve because it may have a major impact on the future of VR. Now if you wanted some more spoiler-free information on the overall significance of the Half-Life series and what to expect from Half-Life Alyx, I actually did just release a video on that, and I will link it below. So next up, we got a new trailer and release date for Phantom Covert Ops. Now this is a stealth-based Oculus exclusive coming to both the Rift and the Quest, and this will be available on June 25th, 2020. Now there's a lot of hype surrounding this game, and I am curious to see how the always in a canoe mechanic plays out, and when done correctly, stealth can be really intense in VR. So next up, we got another trailer for Lies Beneath. This one looks even creepier than the last few. Now this is a cel-shaded horror-themed shooter, which is also another Oculus exclusive. Now if we all blast through Half-Life Alyx really quickly, it looks like this will be the next game to play because it's releasing on March 31st. Okay, our last VR game item is something I always try to include for you guys, and that is a new free title. Now this game is FPS Infinite. This is a Metroid Prime inspired, procedurally generated, first-person shooter, which has 100% positive reviews on Steam. Now while there's only 20 reviews, the general consensus is this is a very fun distraction. So if you're on a budget and need something to try, go check this game out. So moving into the software news, while the GDC, just like many other expos, didn't or won't happen this year, there was a series of videos released online, and there was a lot of information regarding the development of games on VR platforms. This included items like minimum and recommended PC hardware for VR games, a checklist for developers so their game meets players' expectations. One example they used was if you had a working lighter in a VR game, your expectations are the paper will burn. And if this doesn't happen, you will most likely disappoint your player. Remember, immersion is key in VR games. Another hot topic item was Facebook's review process for putting games on the Oculus Store. So Crisis Brigade developers, take note. Now it's great we're getting some content in place of these expos that aren't happening, but they're not close to as exciting as they normally are. The PlayStation 5 announcements were a prime example, as they were bland as hell. Well, I guess it's better than nothing. Now on a side note, as gamers, I think we're handling this whole global pandemic, social distancing better than most people, mainly because most of us are already used to self-isolation. Now my area is only in its first week of self-quarantine, but already a good portion of my friends were starting to lose it, and we actually had a virtual happy hour last night. So we did some FaceTime and beers, and it went over really well, but as VR gamers, we can totally kick this up a notch, and I'm gonna give you a list of my favorite VR social games that you could jump into and just start hanging out with people. So if you just want to chill out with some people, you can obviously use Steam VR Home or Oculus Home, invite some people in, and just have a nice conversation. But if you want to kick it up a notch and have more activities, then I would recommend VR Chat, Neos VR, or even AltSpace. Now if you want to do a little bit more gaming and less socializing, then I would recommend Rec Room and Orbis VR. Rec Room is completely free, and Orbis VR is free up until a certain level. This is an MMORPG, but there is a high level of social interactivity. And my last recommendation is Big Screen. So if you want to sit, hang out, fire up a movie, or just watch some TV, then jump in the Big Screen. They even have paid movie theater experiences if you have absolutely nothing to watch. Okay guys, moving into our final topic, and that is new VR hardware. We have some Oculus leaks for what may end up being the Quest 2.0. Recent screenshots have popped up in places like Reddit and Upload VR, showing references to development on the Oculus Del Mar. Now, all previous generations of Oculus headsets have had code names. The Rift was the Crescent Bay, and a predecessor to the Quest was the Santa Cruz. And there's also reference to a new Jedi controller. Now we can only speculate on what these names mean, but when you say Jedi, I think Force powers. You will thumbs up and subscribe. Now, as much as people want to comment on this and speculate, the only thing we know for certain is that Oculus is indeed working on new hardware, which is most likely mobile in nature, as we could see mobile referenced in the code, but that's really about it. We know there's a new Qualcomm chipset out there, it's already in use in a enterprise level product, the Lynx R1, and honestly, if I was forced to take a guess, I would say yes, this is the new Quest 2.0 headset, or possibly an Oculus Go replacement, and maybe there's gonna be a specialized controller to help supplement hand tracking. Because for hand tracking to become viable in a game, one, we do need to receive some type of force feedback, and the performance also has to significantly improve. So I can imagine a Jedi controller being something like a glove, or even a series of silicone rings that provides both of those features. Again, this is absolutely nothing but speculation. Okay guys, that was today's new VR news. You might have noticed it's a little bit shorter than normal. Things are extremely hectic here, as I have already mentioned. We are under quarantine. I'm stuck home all day with 2 young girls, and it's making things a little bit harder. But if you did enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here, consider subscribing. Okay, I will see you guys on next time.